Hey, it's Tim here with Expert Power Wash. Today I have 3 skids to show you guys. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, I got a couple skids that way. I'll show you that are in progress and some cool features of those. Let's take a look at these 3 and then I'll show you those bonus skids. All right, we got the 3 pressure washing skids. We got an 8-foot one back there, another 8-foot one. Those are 2 different types of frames. I'll show you that here in just a second. And then of course we got our ultimate there. This has been a really popular skid. I'll get into the details and the sizing and everything on that skid in just a minute. We'll start over with this one here. This one here is going to Minnesota. This is for Kurt. He is a fellow YouTuber and washer. Super nice customer to deal with. He wanted something that was a little bit more professional for his business, and we were happy to put together this skid for him. You see some boxes there sitting on the front. That's a bunch of Tucker stuff. So he's getting some Tucker window cleaning stuff there, and you can see our slim aluminum fuel tank. You've probably seen this in a few other videos, but you can see the sizing there that fits nicely behind that upright there. These are custom made, custom sized, so they fit perfectly on our skids, and it maximizes the bed space there. We'll go on over here. You got 3 18-inch Titan electric hose reels, 200 feet of soft wash hose there, 200 feet of pressure washing hose, and then 100 feet of 3/4 garden hose there. Got the Flow Pro. Got the Flow Pro part there where it plugs into the pressure washing hose. Our ball valve swivel. These have been a huge hit here locally. These have Mossmatic stainless steel swivels on them. You can tell all of our fittings here, all these are stainless. Stainless fitting there, stainless clamps. Goes into a Hudson float valve over there so the water stops as the tanks fill. These 2 tanks are plumbed together. I'll show you those there. These are oversized 1.5 inches, so as the water fills into one tank, both tanks will flow. Then of course you see our 1-inch drain there. This one might be a little bit harder to see with the boxes all in the way on the skid, but I can still show you a good part of it here. There's the downstream rinse out. So with this downstream rinse out, it helps your downstream injector last longer, keeps it rinsed out. You can pull chemical or water. Everything is plumbed into the tanks, so no pulling drop sticks. Those are weighted with PVC sleeves that go into there along with a filter, 1/4-inch filter at the bottom. Here's the other side of the skid. We got the Tucker hose reel mount here. So the Tucker hose reel can go in here. These are nice, real nice locking systems there. Hose reel comes out, it's all boxed up, otherwise I would show you that. Some more of our plumbing. Got the T-strainer filter down there, all banjo fittings. We don't use any of those junk aftermarket. I think they're actually making them in China now. Some of those other bulkheads, you'll notice they're real thin. They don't seal up as well. So we stay true to the banjo stuff. It's just a little bit better, actually a lot better. But everything we put into these skids, we want it to be the best, highest quality. I want these things to last a long time for you. We're not trying to just put together a skid so we can sell you a skid and have the pricing, right where you want it, the same as everybody else's. Somebody asked me the other day, how does your skid compare to some of the other ones out there? And frankly, I told him it doesn't. And he kind of looked at me weird and said, what do you mean it doesn't compare? I said, well, let's take a look at the materials. Let's take a look over here. I actually got them sitting over by this hot water thing here. So this is some real thin aluminum here. This is what our skids are made out of. So some of the other skids are welding up this type of material. Of course, this is angle, it's not square, but to give you an example of the thickness. It's going to be really hard to get a penetrating weld on something that thick versus something that thick. Huge difference. So if you want to pay half the price, get half the skid. Got the locking surface cleaner rack there. It's keyed, nice aluminum. See if I can get a top look here. This is designed to fit the Whisper Wash 19-inch Classic. The hinges there are stainless steel. You got a little storage there, if you can see, all the way up in the front there. So you can use that for extra hose or whatever you want to pack in there. The one thing we didn't talk about here was this side. We kind of skipped over it real quick and we were talking about plumbing. We have our Pro Mixer XL. This has 3/4 valves on it and then 1/2-inch valve for the soap in there in the middle. What that does is it helps it mix and flow a little bit better. And then of course we have our 3-way rinse valve, 7-gallon soap tank, our EPW box with the battery. This is our gear dry pressure washer. This is an 8-gallon a minute GX690. These are one of our favorites. Everything is neatly plumbed there, flows right off the back. This one has a gearbox, and then the TSF 2021 pump. That's one of our favorite pumps. Great little unit there. It's nice and compact. So before we get into the other skid, I was talking about the framing and how that one over there differs from this one. So this is our most popular one. This is all completely welded and gusseted. So it wasn't enough just to gusset these. We'll see if I can get a better shot of this. So that's a gusset there, but it's not just a plate. It's that 1/4-inch tubing. Let's see if I can get in there and get that for you guys. That 1/4-inch tubing that's welded in there, along with another gusset down there, along with another gusset there. In my opinion, we build one of the strongest skids in the industry. Another gusset there. These skids weigh roughly, the last one we weighed with manual reels was 1075. So I imagine it's about 1150 with the electric reels there. But this is Kurt's skid. I know he's gonna enjoy it. It's gonna last a long time for him. It's gonna get a lot of work done. All right, let's go over and take a look at Jeff's skid here. Like I said, this one's a little bit different. This one has bolt-on shelves, all stainless steel hardware. What I like to do on skids is I like to do the shake test. If you feel anything move, your skid's not worth a darn. I don't know what else to tell you. Shake your skid around, see what moves. If things start rocking back and forth, it's likely that that's going to be bad news on down the road when you're going over bumps and potholes and stopping quick and all those good things. So bolt together skids can be really good if they're built right. This one is built right. So you got an adjustable ladder rack there with little locking pins. You can see how tight and how thick that is. So this isn't that 8-inch thick stuff either. This is built really nice. Goes in there tight. This one doesn't rattle. It's hard to capture on camera, but I'm shaking this thing pretty much with all my might and there's no rattle in there whatsoever. There's another one. Again, a real popular skid. We'll do a quick walk around on this one so you can kind of get an idea of how this one's made. Cool thing about this shelf here is it's rolled. Let's see if I can catch this. There you go. So that adds strength when that's all rolled like that. So if I can show you down underneath. Yeah, there you go. Really thick piece that runs along the side there. Everything's all bolted real nice. I don't mind showing you guys the nuts and bolts of our skids. We're very proud of what we built here. We put a lot of work into these things, and like I said on the other one, I think we build one of the best skids out there. It may not be one of the most complex ones. It might not be one of the ones with the most amount of stickers or all the bling and the fancy remotes and all that stuff. I'm sure all that stuff's great. We just don't do them like that. Those are a lot of failure points and possible things that could break down in the field. And I'm personally just not interested in putting all that stuff on a skid. After washing 7 years, some of you guys have washed a lot longer than me, but I've washed long enough to know that sometimes the fancier you get, the more complex you get, you're not gonna be able to work on your skids. One thing that we do when we build our skids is everything's accessible. You got your battery in there. We got a light that mounts up to the top of this one. Real neat system that goes into that one. Oh, circuit breaker there on the side, battery charger. But we make everything so it's real simple to work on. Check valve, these go bad about once a year. You got 3 of them in there. It's likely gonna be your bleach one. You don't have to tear this whole thing apart to get to this. It's super simple, it's right out in the front. Any of your other hoses and plumbing, any of those types of things that can go bad, everything is completely accessible. Let me show you this here. If you guys have watched our videos, you know that the way that we plumb these, we use uniseals. So this is polybraid hose that flows directly into the tanks down to a drop stick with a PVC slotted filter there. Trying to show you guys with the camera. But without doing a bulkhead there, you're eliminating a fail point. Early on, I've plumbed my tanks with bulkheads, and we probably lost a good 2 or 3 of them before we found that these work a heck of a lot better. So you guys, one of the things that you get with me when we build these is you get all my trial and errors and my failures and things that we found to overcome some of those complications that we found early on in our business. Staying true to the easy to maintenance and the easy to fix when you're out in the field. One thing here, you can actually get into the back of our skids. That one there you would if the boxes weren't in there. But say you gotta come in here and you gotta fix a pump. Well, you just simply walk in here, just like I'm doing, and we'll walk over and we'll change the pump. The way that we have these mounted is the bolts aren't all the way through here. Those are on a peg system. So all you have to do is just take out, let's see if I can capture it on camera here. All you have to do is take those bolts off and the pump slides right off. Heavy duty marine switch there. These are plate mounted pumps. This is a Remco 7 gallon a minute, 100 PSI. We have these all on our website under pressurewashingskids.com. Take a look. We build these in-house. I got a complete video if you take a look at our channel on what we do with our wiring. It's probably a bit extreme, but yeah, take a look at some of the stuff that we do with the wiring. Again, that's just a point that could fail on you guys. And I believe in doing things the right way. And if it can be done the best that can be done, then just why not do it that way? And that's just the way we do it. I don't know what else to say about that. You know, if there's good USA quality marine wiring and it lasts longer, it has a thicker jacket, and it's pure copper strand in the wiring, and it's not filled with a bunch of filler material, then that's probably what you should be using for wiring, not that cheap Chinese stuff. This one has our slim tank as well. Another detail on our tanks that we think about here is this is a rollover valve. I could put another brass barb in there for 5 or 10 bucks. These are about 30, 40 bucks. But these are kind of a neat little rollover valve. If the gas splashes up on the bottom of that valve there's a little ball in it, and the ball pushes up and there's no fuel that leaks. Of course, God forbid this thing rolls over, the ball would roll up and then stop the fuel from leaking out all over. Same technology they use in race cars, NASCAR. All brass barbs. That one's plugged, so if you ever want to add another machine to our fuel tanks, you can do that. That's that one right there. You can see the neck on it. Those are 3/8 fittings. Rollover valves, 1/2 inch. Super nice tanks, aluminum TIG welded tanks. I believe they're TIG welded. Show you some of the welding on that. Super high quality. There's the plumbing there for the pressure washer, high quality T-strainer, 1-inch crush proof hose. Again, all banjo fittings on there. This machine here, this is a belt drive. This customer requested a belt drive. We can do belts or gears. It doesn't matter to us. They're both great machines. You're getting the same pump. You're getting the same motor. It's the great debate on what's better, a belt drive or a gear drive. Yeah, there's pluses and minuses with that. There, you know, a belt you don't have to, or with a belt you don't have to worry about a gear drive. Some say that the gear drives can leak oil. As you can see, we're running a gear drive there. We've probably built a good 50 of the gear drives, haven't had a single issue with one. I've had more issues with the belt drives than I have the gear drives, and that's just mainly been adjusting the belts on them or the belts breaking. And that doesn't happen very often, but it is just one of those maintenance things. If you're gonna do this as a business, it's gonna be one of those things that's gonna break down on you, so have some extra belts. We had one last us 5 years, no belts. Just had to adjust the tension on it once in a while. And then we had one, a couple years ago, 6 months in, we broke 2 belts on it. So you never know. But they're both great machines. They both run really well. This one just kind of mounts to the side, and the gear drive mounts with everything going off the, excuse me, going off the back of it. Back over to this one. I covered some of this on the other skid. You got the same high quality mixer, same soap tank, same box. Everything's plumbed up the same. On this adjustable, slightly different surface cleaner rack, still designed for the 19-inch Classic. Got our downstream rinse out valve there. This is the first skid that we're featuring with this really high-end garden hose. We're crimping these on the garden hose in-house with our crimper. These are, if anybody knows anything about Dixon fittings, there's just nothing like them. They're extra heavy duty. They spin a lot nicer. They're just constructed a lot nicer than those hardware store crimp fittings. So this is the first one with that. If you want this high quality hose, it is going to cost a little bit more, but we constantly look for ways to build these things better. So this is the first one going out with that stuff. This one only has a 100-foot hose. When the customer picks it up, he may get more, I don't know, or stick with 100, maybe he has more. This is a manual bypass, so this doesn't have the Flow Pro on this one like the other one. So this one here, when you go to turn the soap off, you just reach in here and you turn it. Or that would be soap off, because the water is going to flow through here and then out. It's going to find the path of least resistance. And then when you turn this, think of this like a block, the way that the handle is there. The water is going to come in through here, hit that block, and then be forced up and then pull soap out of the injector. What's neat about the way that we have this one hooked up is it can run through the hose reel. Everything is on quick connects. You can disconnect that and then just plug it directly into the back of that bypass. So I call this bypass in the bypass. I'm running it through the hose reel or just run it off of there. Nobody has to debate on this one whether it's better to run it through the hose reel or bypass the hose reel. You can do both on this one. 200 feet of soft wash hose. Got the nice soft wash gun on there. These are all electric reels as well. 3 18-inch electric Titans. If you look at the wiring here, you don't see any of our wiring except for one little hidden black wire back there. Let me show you this, if I can get in and get a shot of this. See how that one wire goes back? That's 3M heat shrink, extra heavy duty. That's that 8-gauge USA made marine grade wire. And that just runs along with the stock wires on the Titan hose reel, and it just runs neatly. These are all wired in parallel. and then going back to the circuit breaker and then onto the battery. Let me back up here. I'll show you how much bed space is on this one. Got our 1-inch drain here. We also put that high-end hose here. I think this is nice stuff, but we'll probably stick with the Tiger Flex. I like the Tiger Flex a little bit better than that stuff there. Yeah, there's a lot of bed space on this. Nice looking skid. All right, last but not least, and trust me, I didn't forget about those bonus skids I was going to show you guys. I'll show you those in just a minute. But this is our Ultimate Mini. This has been a very, very popular platform. This is 44 inches, so 44 inches wide. So measure your truck bed. This will fit a lot of smaller trucks, full size F-150s, things like that. Got the 5.5 gallon per minute, 3,000 PSI Honda gear drive. This is the black one, of course, key start. You see our drain hose on this one. Even on the small skids, we run a 1-inch drain with the Schedule 80 PVC ball valve there. And I can show you how that goes in. Again, real high quality banjo fittings in there. Got the T-strainer there that runs out from the buffer tank into the pressure washer. Got the hose coming directly up here into the hose reel. We got the mixer off to the side. This is really nice because when this thing's loaded up, you can easily walk to the side of the truck, make all the adjustments that you need to make. This has been tested. There's no issues with pulling that pull starter or just reaching in, because this actually sits up, so it's just inside the bed. You just reach over and you can start it there with the key or pull start it. Actually, on my channel, if you look back, excuse me again, if you look back probably 5 or 6 videos, you'll see another Ultimate Mini tour. And there's a video of this exact, well, not this exact skid, but this type of skid loaded into my Tundra. So you can get an idea of what this would look like loaded into a short bed truck. Mine's a 5.5 footer. Here's the back of it here. You got some extra space for buckets or whatever you want to store in there. It's not real crowded. Everything's really nicely laid out. It doesn't look like a jungle. Let's take a look at here. Here is the soft wash pump. This is a 5.3 super heavy duty marine switch in here. Here's all our heavy duty wiring. It goes out 3/4 and then into the, or out from the mixer into the pump there on 3/4. This is our brand new, I think this is the first skid maybe I'm featuring with our brand new black manifold blocks. Those look a little bit nicer than the white ones. It all functions the same, it's all for looks, but I really like the way that black one looks. Got a marine grade battery in there. You can see the gear drive system on that pressure washer. 7-gallon soap tank. This one has a fancy soap tank mount. You can see it there. They're spendy to make, but they look really nice. 55-gallon tanks. Got the Hudson float valve here. Bypass, everything's ran neatly as far as the plumbing. You got stainless steel straps on this. And these cradle into the bottom there. A little bit more expensive. I've seen people use regular strapping, like pallet strapping to strap these things down to skids. Not quite the way that I would do it, but you know, this is how we build them. You got 3 12-inch reels. Again, I really like the way that these are laid out. You can roll your soft wash hose right off the back of the truck along with your pressure hose. Then of course the garden hose just rolls off the side there. For some crazy reason, if you wanted to change the layout of what reels do what, we can do that. But we've tested a bunch of different ways, and This is the absolute best way to plumb these up that we've found. Everything runs clean. So unless you have any special circumstances, probably just stick to a proven footprint here. But yeah, this is 5.5 foot long, 44 inches wide. With the back shelf there, it mounts, puts the hose rails just above the back tailgate, and everything's really nice and accessible. Really easy skid to work off of. I've had people ask, can you put an 8 gallon a minute on this skid? I'm gonna say anything is possible, but I wouldn't. The reason why I wouldn't is because you're going to be pulling out of a 55 gallon tank for your buffer. You also have to put a fuel tank in here, so it's going to crowd it up a little bit. If you're going with an 8 gallon a minute machine, I would probably move over to a bigger skid. Just a little more water capacity is going to be better. I'm sure it can work. I have a friend of mine that ran a 55 gallon buffer tank for 3 years, but oddly enough, now he has a bigger tank. So he didn't stick with that 55. All right, let's take a look around the shop. So we have a bunch of gear drives. You can tell what our favorite machines are here. But I'll show you those skids that we're working on. This is another Ultimate Mini. So that one right there, like I said, these have been a very, very popular platform. We keep the wrap on these and we put cardboard down until we're done building. Kind of give you an example of what these look like with barely anything on them. There's that machine. It's all set up to go onto that skid. This is a testing tank. If you guys ever test machines, this works really well for us. We put a bulkhead in here, and then that's just a cam lock, and we got a 1-inch feed line. We'll hook it up to the pressure washer and then just cam lock it to this. When we want to drain it, it's sitting outside, you just uncam lock it and just drains out. So if you need to test machines, that is a great way to do it there. That's our little test tank. Let's see. I'm going to show you something probably a little bit early. I don't know if I should be showing you this, but I'm going to show you anyways. Here's a nice skid here. This is going out to Kentucky. I think we have had like 3 skids go out to Kentucky lately. So look out, Kentucky. Expert Power Wash skids are invading this state over there. I really like this skid. I really like these hose reel guides. You're able to pull these things off. Super nice, high quality Titan hose reel guides. They make another one. I don't know, remember what the price are. They're a little cheaper, but these ones are about 300 bucks each. They're a little spendy, but I kind of really like them. So the skid's kind of backed up against another skid here, so I'll just do a quick walk around and show you. It's pretty similar to the other one over there. The machine's pretty cool. You got the Flow Pro here. Here's the back of it. This skid still needs badged before it gets shipped out. Got a charging port there, charger in there, 7-gallon soap tank. This one has our brand new mixer, the black. Again, I really like the way that these look. Brand new. Here's the pressure washer here. This is an IGX 800. So this is fuel injected. This is a 10 gallon a minute, 3,500 PSI. Had a lot of questions about these lately. I've had some guys ask, hey, don't these have fuel issues? And as far as I know, they did when they first came out. I've seen some videos of them being in the repair shop. Pink Flamingo, another pressure washing channel out there, he's had some issues with his. He did a really nice walkthrough video. You can take a look at that, search it. But they analyzed all the issues that this machine had. So Honda has resolved those issues. Honda's a very good manufacturing engine company. Usually when they have a little issues like that, they resolve them right away. They were pretty new to market still, but as far as I know, there hasn't been any issues in the last 3 years. If you guys know of anything that I'm leaving out, or you think the viewers should know, drop it down in the comments. But we've hooked up a bunch of these. We've ran these on our own personal skids, and we haven't had one single issue with the IGX 800s. This pump here, this is TSF 2221. Real nice machine. Got the green spring unloader on that one. Slim fuel tank. Flow Pro. Let me back up here to this skid. It's actually about 11:30 at night. I've been going since 6 this morning, so I'm committed to getting these things done for you guys. This is another blank one. This one will also get shipped out. This one's getting ready to be built. It's up on the stands. We're gonna put that Ultimate Mini right back in here tomorrow. And we're clearing up some space here, believe it or not. And then we got a full another board. We got 3 or 4 trailers and about 10 or 12 more skids to get built out in the next 45 days. So we are cranking busy here. I appreciate you guys inquiring about these things. If you give us a call, it's gonna be most likely Ellie works in the office. We don't have any VRs or anything like that. So if you call, and you get an answering machine, it's likely that all 3 of us are on the phone. This is where Ellie works. This is her office. Like I said, it's dark, it's nighttime. Those are all the little sticky notes that she writes for me. But yeah, give us a call, 503-403-6185. I'll link all that information down below, as long as my direct email and the website for these skids. And if you're interested in one of these and you want to place an order, let us know. Be happy to get one of these built for you guys. All right, have a great evening. See you guys in the next video.